life. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm pretty much content with just rhyming all day.
Or digital can instantly share pictures.
I can still.
Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show.
Later, you know what it is. Hey, Ham, it's time, baby. Low, it's time how we do. Hey.
They said, we said, we hit. They said, we said, we on. They said, we said, strong. They said, we said, go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said, we said, we in. They said, we said, on. They said, we said, strong. They said, we said, go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right.
Man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a wheel. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you on red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you Red Fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blitz. Cause you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit.
They said, we said, we hit. They said, we said, we on. They said, we said, strong. They said, we said, go.
Greetings and salutations, ladies
What the
and
fuck?
gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of BullSittin on TSWS
You a
Gaming.
stripper?
I am
Yo,
your
what are we
gaming
doing?
policeman. I am your gaming policeman. for
YMCA, what's cracking?
Well,
What's going on?
make sure to
That's
not break
nuts.
any of the rules. I just don't have the, you know,
You do not have the
handcuffs
capacity?
gun,
The
but
capacity?
I'll be honest. No, I do have the capacity. Don't you worry.
Just capacity, yeah.
I don't have the handcuffs. All right, I'll be seeing y'all next week. Cozy, turn your lights back
Oh,
on.
look at
Otherwise, I
Loki
will-
said
I
no
will find
cuffing.
you.
He said no cuffing Fridays.
Cozy, I will find you. Turn the light back on. The hell. Anyways, welcome everyone. I hope y'all are having a good one. I'm having an excellent Friday. I got a bit of a stomach bug, bit of a
Sure
flu.
looked like it.
But I'm in a good mood. Got myself a nice new hat, some
Oh
shades.
my goodness.
Ready to
You're
take down the
feeling it.
Terminator. Ready to take down the Terminator. Anyways, joining me as usual is the other half of TSWS, Mr. Ham Solo. Also joining me as usual is the only man that knows how to lick a game, a digital game, before playing it.
Jesus.
Mr. Matt likes games.
Hello.
And also, obviously, right, the only reason you guys even show up to this motherfucker, Cozy Beluga is here with us also, drinking some poison before anyone gives a permission. Sure, Cozy. Bring down your microphone. Put down the microphone.
Oh,
That's
it's
strike 2. That's
pineapple
2
juice.
strikes. Cozy,
Oh.
that's 2
Absinthe.
strikes.
You're in
Drinking
Texas.
absinthe.
You're in Texas, not in California, okay?
Anyways, Cozy, are you feeling rosy?
Absolutely.
Please tell us why.
It's been a fun week in gaming, and I have pineapple juice.
Nice. Fun week. Why has it been fun? Yeah, I need you to be more specific. Come on.
There's so much to play. Like I got Monster Hunter been playing. I've been playing Avowed. I'm playing some I'm playing too much games.
Nice.
Avowed, obviously Overwatch and Helldivers. Just such a fun week.
It's a good time to be rosy. It's a good time. Matt, how are you and what have you been playing?
Funny enough, I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. I
Call of
got
Duty?
I got the ROG Ally, and that's probably my most played game on that right now. Is
Oh.
Call of Duty. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty.
60 frames.
Yes.
It can do 60 frames. A
Yes.
handheld can do 60 frames.
Yes, it can.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty great.
I'm impressed. As
Maybe
soon as I've
3
gotten
also.
over, as soon as I've gotten over the financial investment that is this PC, I'll probably get ROG Ally as well.
You
Because
guys have
I feel
I'd say hold on the rug because I got this one because it was a pretty good deal, like 450 bucks.
yeah.
But they are coming out with Z2 Extreme ROG Ally,
Uh-oh,
So
that's
which
better
I
than
don't.
the X.
It's better spec, but I don't know. I think it's later this year they're coming out with it. So probably sometime this summer around that time. So
You
yeah, keep
you
an
know
eye out
how
for that.
PlayStation gamers are like. You need to have the PlayStation and the VR. I feel like PC. You need to have the PC and a handheld.
nah.
To go
Well,
to
good
go.
news for you is there's a whole lot of them to choose from now. So
Yeah, yeah.
and they're gonna keep getting more of them. So
So
it's a good
real
time.
quick, real quick. This my baby. This is my baby. This
Wow.
this is what has been powering me for the past few years. This has kept me connecting to TSWS. I've now
Not
retired.
anymore.
I've now retired my sweet baby, and now
You
she's
can
just gonna
throw her in the trash now.
no. Settle down, settle
You,
down. Anyways,
you can give it a bath.
no, no, no.
Give it the long sleep.
I will give it a
Take that
oxygen
back.
bath.
Send it to the farmers. They need it.
Yep.
You know what? Speaking of farmers, I
Farm
might
up
become
city.
one. I might become one in the next couple of months. But that's news for
Woo!
another day. Uh,
Okay.
Ham, how are you? And what have you been playing?
I've been sick most of the week.
Stop being sick.
Yeah,
Been
yeah.
playing.
Just
I did the first. I did the first stream of Mass Effect 2 on Thursday. It took me a long time to even get to muster up the energy to even be able to do it, but I did that. But I didn't even do it today because I just felt like ass again, all over again. So I just slept in. I literally slept in until like 10 a.m. 10
oof.
10:30. Like I was crashed out, and my face still feels like it has a ton of pressure in it. But when I do feel good, what I've been playing is finishing Avowed. I've also been playing some as you guys seen or heard just a moment ago, Mass Effect, but Splitgate just or not Splitgate, Split Fiction just came out yesterday. And
Nice.
Yeah.
I just started playing that, and you guys can see it here on the screen. Me and Matt were playing it. Some hot
Sausages.
dogs right now. Yeah, you can see that we are hot dogs right now.
Yeah.
It's a really
Couple
interesting
of dogs.
yeah, we're just a couple of
The
dogs.
Yeah.
But it's a really fun and interesting game. The story's
Mhm.
pretty cool. Matt, I've never heard Matt get so stressed out in a two-player game, but he got more stressed than I've ever heard him get. And
But
it
yeah.
like
Wait, who
like
jumped into there to cook themselves? Who? Wait, is that what you're supposed to do
yeah, we
Yeah.
were pigs and then we turned ourselves into dogs.
on purpose,
We got thrown into the grinder.
or you threw
Grind it
yourselves in
up.
the what? And then he
I
put
mean,
himself
it
in
was,
the bun. Oh,
yeah, buddy.
no! Did you put the ketchup on the?
Yep.
Yes, the glizzy was getting covered.
You
Sure
glazed
was.
yourself.
Glazing the
That
glizzy.
Wow.
that is
and then
wild.
and then
You
popping
probably
myself on into the
mouth.
Oh,
Just pop
cozy.
yourself right into those buns.
yeah.
Oh yes,
Oh.
Get the
Oh.
hallelujah,
crunching.
hallelujah.
Get
I
the
I I,
crunching.
I
Uh,
second that one. Always pop yourself into the buns. Always. That's
Dude,
always the way.
I was laughing so hard and stuff. Like me and Matt were like laughing so hard during this part. Like that was the end of my night right there. I was like, dude, I want to stop right here. We've got to stop right here because this is just ridiculous. And then we played a little bit today just to
Yeah.
capture some gameplay for today's show, right?
Yeah.
And at no point did I expect myself to like laugh super hard again. But like, I'm gonna try to fast forward to the part. I'll go back here in just a little bit, but there is a part where Matt was losing it. I think it's
Yeah.
coming up right on this part right here, where because you're
Oh.
riding backseat on the bike, right?
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's coming up right up on this part. But yo, explain that part for us, Matt, because you
Dude.
actually had to deal with it.
So he's driving the bike, and I forget even what the goal was of you handing me the phone, but their character or his character handed me the phone, and I had to like go through a bunch of different like security tasks and questions, like how on a PC it's like select the photos that are boxes and select the photos that are cars. I had to do all that shit.
Yeah,
I had to
this
like
part.
read a
There it is.
terms. Is
Go
it up
ahead.
on the screen now?
Yeah, it's gonna be up on the
Dude.
screen here in like 2 seconds.
I had to
you're
read.
lagging.
You'll see. Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it. I had to read like a terms and conditions. I had to like enter a code, dude. I was fucking panicked, but it was like so hilarious. Like I was telling him afterwards, that's probably the most or the funniest or the most I've ever laughed at a game. Definitely this generation.
Wow.
Definitely this generation. Like that was really well done. And it was fucking stressful. Look, it says look for the ones that say giraffes. There's no fucking
Yeah.
giraffe. And I like look down to see Skip. I'm like, okay,
This
skip.
Is this you proving
Dude.
that you're not a robot?
It's
essentially right.
Dude,
It's those little moments where it's like prove you're not a robot by hitting these buttons.
Damn.
All while I think the bike is about to blow up and I'm supposed to stop it, but I'm going through these terms and conditions.
And it's like
It was
fill out
great.
the PK. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but anyways, that's what I've been playing as lately. Split Fiction. Me and the wife are going to be playing that this weekend. I'm really excited for that.
Nice.
I figured I'd give us something for me and her to be able to get into and play. In a few weeks, we're going on a cruise, so I'm going to be gone from TSWS the entire week. No part of it will I be taking part of. So just heads up, Loke. On the 22nd, I think I will be gone for an entire week.
It's fine. We're gonna gain like 5,000 subscribers in the
Yep,
time
yep.
that you're gone.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to get me.
I'll come back the next week just so we can lose them.
Yep. Ham's a menace, ladies and gentlemen. He is a menace. Welcome in, Stanley Francois, nice and early. And Nate says it's up to the person. I'm not a fan of handheld PCs. Most of them have had too many issues or are overpriced for the performance for me. Great for some people, though useless for me. I need to get back to finishing Avowed. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm right near the end. I'm on that last little spot, Matt. You know, the last level spot thing. Yeah.
The guy.
I'm right up in there right now, finishing it up, but it is, I don't know. I feel like the story's dragging for me. I'm ready for it to be over. But it's but at the same time, the combat, I really wish they had a new game plus, because I'd love to replay it and get some of the missions that I maybe missed. But they don't have a new game plus. You're starting completely over from scratch if you decide to play it again, which I'm not a big fan of.
No, thank you. No, thank you. All right. So that's what everyone has been playing.
Keep in mind, I don't like that for any games. Like Elden Ring, none of those. Like, I'll do a new game plus with a game, but I don't want to start out like I've never played the game. Have it doing all the tutorials and all. Nah, I'm all set. If there's not a new game plus, I'm probably not playing you again. That's why Starfield's so brilliant, because their new game plus is just endless. You know what I'm saying? Starfield is just like, welcome to another universe, motherfucker. You strong, you think you tough.
Go ahead.
We'll see.
see.
I love Starfield's new game plus.
Yeah. Welcome in, Daireezy. I've been playing Baldur's Gate. Not looking forward to playing Dustborn, but I don't have any excuse now. The
How's
PC is
Baldur's
working.
Gate run?
Oh man, buttery smooth.
Is it? Yeah. Can
It's
imagine.
pretty. It's very
I
pretty.
can
on this
imagine.
PC. Yep. Yeah. I'm having a blast, dude. Like, anyway,
Good to hear.
This is not the Baldur's Gate show. I'm just gonna say that it's awesome. Everyone knows this. It's like saying the sky is blue. Baldur's Gate's awesome. My PC is pretty awesome. Thank you again, Matt. And it runs awesome. Just
I mean,
awesome
you
all
paid
around.
for it. I got you the parts, but you paid for it, so
Yeah.
ain't
Yeah.
no problem.
Let's get into the news, people. Let's get into the news. Some very nice community news, in my personal opinion. This is from VGC. RoboCop Rogue City is getting a sequel this summer.
Oh yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. When I first saw this, I just thought to myself, this is what happens when you properly scope a project. This game did not sell more than 5 million copies. I am sure of it. I am positively sure. But you know what else I'm sure of? They did not spend 100 million making this game. So
No.
good on them. And talk about
Crazy, because
efficiency.
that's what game used to be like. That's what game used to be like, is just trying to get the most that you can out of your dollar instead of trying to spend every dollar you got.
Yeah. Yes, Daireezy. As soon as I'm done with the pod, I have a party to get through, but that's not what the topic is.
Dun, 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 dun. You're always.
So as I was saying, when a project is properly scoped, not only do you make money, you even have a quicker turnaround. This game came out in 22, 23?
End of 2023.
23. It's 2025. When was the last time you guys we had a successful game polished that had a sequel in less than 5 years? I can't think of one right now. So good on these guys. Let's get into the article and then we'll get everyone else's takes here. The standalone follow-up, which is titled RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business, will see players again stepping into the metallic suit of Alex Murphy as he takes on numerous criminals. Unfinished Business is set in Omni Tower, a large housing complex created by OCP to provide for the needs of the residents of Old Detroit. But when a group of highly trained mercenaries armed with cutting-edge weapons takes control of the building and turns it into their deadly fortress, RoboCop must take action and put a stop to their plans to undermine law and order. This sounds like DLC. It doesn't sound like doesn't sound like a full game. Hold on. According to publisher Nacon, players will have to deal with numerous new high-tech threats in Omni Tower, from flying drones and exploding bots to anti-personnel turrets. Every floor is riddled with deadly traps and heavily armed elite troops, the publisher statement says. Expect to face minigun-toting armored squads, special forces equipped with jetpacks, or even katana-wielding foes who look more machine than man. Players will also have access to the new returning weapons, including the new cryo cannon, and will be able to deliver devastating finishing moves, whether smashing an opponent's skull against a concrete wall or into the nearest drinks vending machine. Okay, so the article doesn't specify if this is DLC, fellas. And
No, it's a standalone.
It's a sequel. It's a sequel.
Really? Can you guys explain to me the naming, the logic behind the naming? Because the first game was RoboCop Rogue City, right?
Rogue City. Yeah.
And then the sequel is RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business.
I mean, I'm just saying they called it a sequel. That's all I know.
Yeah. They're saying it's a sequel, but I don't know.
Yeah.
The naming is kind of weird.
It's really bad naming.
That's true. That is very true. It does sound like a sequel.
This is the second. You're the second person I've had this conversation with. Goodness gracious! Look, you're having a lot of background noise. I don't know what's going on.
All right, hold on. Let me get my headphones while you go off and tell us about your conversation with this other person and
No,
also
I was
what
just
your
talking to
thoughts.
Vinny. Yeah, I was just talking to Vinny, and I'm not sure if you need headphones as much. You just need to turn down whatever the volume is at for the thing that you got. But anyways, me and Vinny were just talking about it. I think Matt was there as well, and I was just like, I thought it was a DLC, and then Vinny read it, and this is from what Kami on Twitter said, right? Okami or something like that, said on Twitter. And I read it like it was a DLC. Vinny read it like it was a standalone. And then Matt came through and Matt was like, hey, it's a standalone. And we both looked at it and was like, okay, we think this is a standalone now. Like, I think we're set on this being a standalone. And now Loke's reading this and he's looking at it and he's like, is this a standalone or a DLC? And I'm just like, all right, that's an issue. It's officially an issue now to me.
I mean, it's definitely a standalone. That much is for certain.
It just doesn't. It's just not the best naming for it to be understood as a standalone. Because you look at it, RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business. It reads like a DLC. I mean, because nobody knows any other RoboCop other city. There's no other city.
Yeah.
You know, there's no deceptive city or something like that, right? To where then it makes sense for this to be, oh, this is the Rogue City one.
All right, can you guys hear me now? No feedback,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, hello?
No.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. God damn it,
No, but
stop
put your
it.
hat. But put your hat back on. Yeah, put your
No.
hat back on. Put the hat on over it.
No.
Glasses too.
It won't work. I don't think it'll fit. Hold on. Let me try and latch it onto this. Oh, hold on. I think we
Yeah, man. Now
might
you
be
look
on.
like a RoboCop.
Do I? Let me see my face on the stream just so I can
You
confirm that.
definitely look like somebody not to trifle with.
He looks
I look
like
like the
a
wrong
New
guy.
Detroit police officer.
Let's go. But yeah, Ham. Sorry, I couldn't hear you because I had muted the stream. I only heard the end when you were saying that it's fair for people to look at the title and think it's DLC, right?
Yeah, just because like not only is it a long title, but usually in a sequel they'll put like RoboCop Rogue City 2 and then like the name of the sequel or something like that, even if,
Exactly.
or else like it just kind of really does kind of read like a DLC, RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business. It sounds like
Exactly.
it either sounds like like a DLC or a higher version, like a platinum version of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you already share your thoughts on the original and what you're looking forward to in the sequel? Especially considering
The original is amazing. It looks great. It's 60 FPS on console. I mean, obviously outside of the Series S. It plays just like you would expect a RoboCop game to play. Kind of. I mean, it doesn't try to get outside of what it is. I was interested in this new one because it seems like it looks like you're going to be a human at some point or something when I seen the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's apparently it's optional to play as, well, I don't know if it's optional or if there's going to be sections, but you're going to be playing as Alex Murphy. Like not RoboCop, like Alex Murphy is RoboCop, but there will be parts of the game where you will be playing as Alex Murphy, not as RoboCop.
Yeah, the human. Just
let me see this.
strictly the human.
Really?
Yeah, I'll throw the trailer up so everybody can watch it. I'm sure they got some sort of music on it, but I'll throw it up here so people can see what I'm talking about. Because I was noticing throughout the trailer, I was like, there's times where you look at your hand and it's like, wait, that's a human hand,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? I don't know if they're talking about it or
Cops shouldn't be feared. What do you want us to be?
Obviously, I'm gonna
Judges?
watch the PlayStation
Executioners?
trailer.
What do you think, Murphy?
Oh, there's another thing that
yeah,
makes me
see
think.
right there. See right there. You can see it all through this spot right here. Cause they're like, what do you think about it, Murphy? And right then and there, you get to play as the human Alex Murphy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
You play as human Alex Murphy.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all.
Stanley's right. You do look like the cop from Village People.
Yo, Dayreezy, I am not a part-time stripper. Not like that chick from the NYPD that
You
people
do
found
dress
out
like one.
about.
Looks like I'll
Dress
show you
like
some
one.
DLC.
God.
Yeah, yeah.
Dun,
But
dun, dun, dun.
you know what? Quick sidebar. I'm okay with police officers being other things outside of their work. It's fine. I think it's fine. If she wants to be a
Sure.
stripper, that's cool. I hope that when you're playing as Alex Murphy, you can feel the difference in performance. You know?
I would imagine. I would
I
certainly
need to go
imagine
greet
you
my
will.
wife. I'll be right back.
All right. Shouldn't be as like tanky as RoboCop and be able to take much damage. But yeah, Matt, you've played this game. What are your thoughts
Uh,
on the original, right?
mhm.
And are you looking forward to the sequel?
I can't wait. I can't wait. I beat that game. It's amazing. I literally just bought it again on PC. Green Man Gaming, by the way, spent
PC
$10
gamers don't
for.
buy games.
I did. I sure did though. $10 it cost me. In fact, it's
Mm-hmm.
not even that much more on Steam right now. It's like $11 for like the deluxe edition. But that
PC
game's
gamers.
amazing. Gameplay is amazing. Guns are great. The violence is completely over the top, incredible. And it looks really good too.
Okay.
And the story was surprisingly good in that game. I did not expect that to be the case, but the story was surprisingly really good.
So it's not throwaway.
No, it's a pretty solid story.
How many hours?
It's
Ballpark.
about 10. 10?
10
More
hours.
10, maybe a little bit more.
All right. All right. That's fair enough.
Kind of depends
Cozy,
on what you do in the game.
Yeah?
have you played the original and are you looking forward to the sequel?
I haven't played it. I just bought it.
Oh, okay. So you bought it after this trailer.
No. I bought it because it was on sale.
Okay, but what else motivated you? Because this game's on sale every day.
It's not always on sale.
No, I'm
Exactly.
saying there are games. There are literally thousands of games on sale every day.
Yeah.
What got you to be like, let me pull the trigger on this one?
It was on sale. And I was like, oh, yeah. It wasn't that deep.
Okay.
You never just
Okay.
been like, oh, yeah, this game's on sale. Let me get it.
Okay, so for
Yeah,
me, the way I think about it is that even if a game's like $1, I'm not going to buy it if I'm not going to play it. And for me to play it, I saw something, I heard something
I'll
to
play it
to put it on the list, of like, yeah, if this game is ever available for 10, $15, I'll probably buy it. Do you know what I mean?
it's not how Cozy operates.
You'll
It
just,
was.
Cozy, you'll just buy a game, even if you're not interested. You're just like, oh, I'll
No,
buy it.
I'm interested in every game that I buy.
All right, so I don't know, like, why are you interested in this one? What you see that was so
It
interesting?
seemed like fun, and I like RoboCop.
All right. I used to think RoboCop was kind of tacky back in the day.
Because
I
you're
didn't like
wrong. You're wrong.
I didn't like the walking. Like everything else about him is cool, I think, but the way he walks, it feels kind of, it looks kind of stodgy, and I get it.
I
It's
don't
like
like a
a
robot.
design choice. Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah, kind
get
of like a
it.
robot, like RoboCop or something. Yeah,
My favorite
I get
part
that.
is in the first movie, like the beginning.
Yeah.
Like my favorite part. They blow off his arm and everything. It's the best part.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's a lot
All
of
right.
blowing off arms in the game. That game is incredible. Like I kind of figured that game would be really violent just because I mean, it's RoboCop. But
Yeah.
man, like when you're playing it, oh my god, it is so great. I mean, that game is
It looks like they didn't
twisted with
hold
its
back.
violence. No, they did not at all.
Yeah.
They full foot on the gas, turned it to 11. That violence is over the top, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Feels like the devs were like, okay, what's the source material? Okay, let's copy and
Hmm.
and paste that exactly into a video game.
They
Oh,
sure
let's
did.
tone it down for this and that. No, no, no. We're not going to tone anything down. Put it all, crank it all to 11. Elemental Hero says also keep an eye out on the end of the trailer. It does mention the expansion. The expansion? What expansion? Where, bruv? Okay. Anyways, so when I first saw this RoboCop thing, and then Ham was raving about it last year, I, w- I'm kind of hoping these guys might be the ones to bring Judge Dredd into the current generation. Who do you guys think these devs should tackle, or which IP do you guys think these devs should tackle after RoboCop?
Something really violent. Um,
I don't think you can get much more violent than Judge Dredd.
you sure? But I don't. But for me personally, like that's your choice. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of one for me.
Okay.
Um, God, trying to think of like, because they seem to have a wheelhouse.
Yes.
Like 80s, like they love 80s things.
Nostalgia stuff.
Terminator,
Mm.
RoboCop.
Dredd would
I'm
be
trying
in
to
their
think.
wheelhouse as well.
Sure, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's like another thing, like an 80s IP, a 90s IP, especially something that we haven't seen in a while. That would be
Something that's super
that
violent.
yes, that is totally due for a video game. Because keep in mind, there's been RoboCop games before. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I played them all, but from what you hear, from what you see online, from the very few that I have played, they weren't very like they weren't that good.
Right.
Um, this game is fucking legit. So yeah, you know what? I'll go with Judge Dredd just because I'm struggling to think of something, but there's got to be something else from that time period that they can revive. I know there is.
I mean, Cozy is ancient. Cozy, what can you think of that these guys could tackle after they're done with RoboCop from that period?
She is she there?
I'm gonna say something that's probably not that popular.
Yes. What?
Microphone is down. But
It's not
what,
What?
Ham?
popular.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna say something that's probably not that popular, but I would like. Man, people are not gonna love this. I would like either I Robot or I Am Human, and I
Oh.
would like actual Will Smith to be in it. but I'd like them just to continue to make a video game out of him and his likeness as a character, so he didn't actually have to, so somebody else could play as him in the future or something like that. But like, I always felt like it's I Am Human, right?
I
I
Am
have no
Robot.
idea what
No,
I
no,
am.
no, no,
I
no,
am
no, no.
Legend.
I am Legend. Thank you. I am
I'm
Legend.
Legend. I
That's
was
what I'm
about to
talking
say, I
about
don't
with the
know. Yeah.
dog. With the dog, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dead
Bro,
dog.
Movie
if
was
they
great.
made, bro, I would love to see a game from that movie where they take that movie and make it into a game and then branch off of it. I would love that because that world
Mhm.
was pretty nuts.
Wouldn't actually like that.
I'd love it.
I think I'd prefer iRobot.
I think it feels too. It's too derivative of other things and what they did with it.
My robot would be cool. I actually,
Like what's the difference of
I
that in RoboCop? RoboCop's literally an IP of something else.
No, but I feel like as what you call it, I Am Legend, as they made it into a movie, was really derivative.
Oh
As
yeah,
they can make it into a game, is very derivative.
as
It's
in
like,
I Am
oh,
Robot, I Am
alien
Legend itself
apocalypse. So I Am Legend, as it was
Yeah.
originally created,
was
was
not
a very
original.
it was original because in the actual original story, he's the bad guy. He's like a boogeyman that runs around killing people and their children and stuff.
What?
Yes,
This book sounds better than the movie.
it is. And in the
Wouldn't
movie,
that
it's
be
just
dope?
like post-apocalyptic. Like
I think that'd be so dope. You're making
That'd
it
be
sound
nice.
better, Cozy.
no, it is. It's a
You're
great book.
making it sound
No,
better.
it's a great book because he's the protagonist, but at the end you find out like they're vampire-like creatures. They can't come out during the day, so he runs around killing them at night and killing their children and these families and stuff. And he's like this boogeyman.
He's the boogeyman to the fucking monsters.
Yes, he's the
actually,
monster.
Bro.
Ray Chi might be kind of cooking with Men in Black.
Bro.
Men in
Ray
Black,
Chi
yes.
might be cooking with
Shut
Men
up
in
and
Black.
take my money.
Oh yeah, Men in Black would be
Men in
nice.
Black would be bad.
You know what? I'll throw away my idea for Men in Black. Hancock,
That's a
sure,
good
but
one.
I'd rather Men in Black because we're talking about like gruesome explosions that could happen. And like there
Yeah.
was that alien
First-person
nasty
shooter.
craziness. There was the funniness with it as well that kind of helped
I'll take
carry
Men in.
it. There was the seriousness to it. There was different agents where you could make side games out of it and stuff like that. Like I think it'd be dope.
I just want to punch the alien that has testicles as a chin. That's all I want to do.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
By the
Wow.
way, Rachie, welcome in.
Just immediately
nice
murder
shout.
him. Just one hitter quitter.
Yeah.
That seems extra.
So, Cozy, your
Yeah.
your choice of an IP for these guys to tackle
I don't know.
after RoboCop.
I would agree with Dread. Something like ultra violent, ultra. I'm trying to think of something.
Like for anyone that's ever read the comic books, because I did. I
Yeah.
read the comic books. There's very few universes more like dirty, grimy, and just filled with death. Like Dread.
You know what?
It's very
You know what
few.
would be cool?
Yeah.
That I don't like. It can't be in the same vein. It goes against everything I said in terms of over the top violence. But maybe they could make it violent. They could twist it. There. I mean, it'd be insane if they could get the IP and they would let them do that with it. Is Inspector
Okay.
Gadget?
Oh fuck.
Dude, if they could get like permission to make something violent with Inspector Gadget, I'd love that. I'd really love that. I was literally just like looking at like a list of movies from my childhood.
Oh my god, Voidlock. Hell yeah. Supernatural. Yo, that game that show goes very, very hard. Also it'd be nice if you didn't have to play as one of the brothers. I think that'd be nice. A AAA Shark Tale video game.
I don't know about that.
Huh?
I don't know. Didn't we get a shark game where
Shark
you can
Tale?
turn
I
it?
think so.
Yeah,
Not
it was in
Shark
game.
Tale.
It was
Maneater?
in Game Pass a while. Yeah,
Yeah, it
man.
was
Maneater.
Maneater.
It's a really
Yeah,
good game.
Maneater. Yeah, yeah. It's alright. I think it's alright.
It's because
All
you
right.
should be a shark.
I would also like to see martial arts games kind of make a comeback.
Oh man, stuff like Sifu.
Because I'm no, not oh, I mean, yeah, kind of like in the vein of yeah, it's martial arts, right? And
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and the buttons felt really like tack, like you felt like a tactician with them, right? Which felt
Okay.
nice. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking like if we're thinking like movie vein and stuff like this, I'd love to see like Tony Jaa from The Protector or IP Man, Ip Man, fucking
Oh
those fucking
man.
like a video game. I would love just being able to do the Protector scene. Like obviously I'd like there to be more to it, but like the Protector scene where he's going up the stairs and he's just
Yeah.
whooping everyone's ass. Like, oh my god, if I could recreate that scene repeatedly, I would. It was
Dude,
so good.
a game that's like Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon. Go. Come on, bro.
Fist of Fury, Chinese Connection, whatever you want, man. I'm down
That'd
with
be
it.
crazy. Sapo welcome in says, I got an idea, hear me out. How about an amazing story as opposed to taking the easy way out with violence? I
But the thing is, I think they did a good story with RoboCop, and it was ridiculously violent. You can have both.
You can have
You can have
both.
both those things.
You can have both. Also, violence for the sake of it, people usually don't gravitate towards that. Like as much as
Exactly.
as much as we're talking about violence, like specifically, there's lots of games out there that are just violent. No one's buying them.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have the balance. You need to have the balance.
You gotta make a good game first.
Yeah, Stanley Francois, sign me up for an Ip Man. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Does anyone know what Blood and Bone is? Voidlock is suggesting Blood and Bone. I don't know what that is.
Nope.
I'm guessing no one knows. All right. Anyone else have anything to add on RoboCop?
Nope.
Nah. Other
All
than
right.
I'm hyped.
Yep. So moving
They
on.
let us watch that as children.
They did. They did. And we turned out just fine. We watched South Park as well as children. We also turned out just fine. Next, we have a bizarre, I think it's bizarre, but I also think it's nice in a weird way. We have a bizarre story. The Pokemon Company and Honda have produced a life-sized motorbike based on a Pokemon. So, Cozy, this one's for you, right? They're
What
selling
did
this
you
one
even
for
just
you.
say?
Uh, the bike is a scale replica of the Pokemon, which can also turn into a motorbike in the video games. It will be on display at Tokyo, Japan's Honda Welcome Plaza, Ioma from March 7th until March 9th. So they're not selling it. This is a dumb idea. This is the second time the two companies have collaborated on a Pokemon themed bike. Last year, Toyota produced another motorbike based on Mirai, the cover star of Pokemon Violet. Neither bike is fully functional.
What?
That's bullshit.
That's too bad.
If it
But
isn't
the
fully
concepts,
functional, then it doesn't matter.
what's the point? But the concepts are supposed to replicate the size and weight of the Pokemon. It is currently unknown what will happen to the replicas when the display has concluded, but it is possible that they will be transferred to one of the several Pokemon Center retail stores in the country, many of which feature large statues of Pokemon. Cozy,
Yes.
go ahead. What are your thoughts on
Uh,
this? And also, what do you think will be the final resting place for these replicas?
definitely one of the Pokemon places you can go to them. Probably the most popular one, if it doesn't already have too much stuff.
See, I kind of disagree with you on that one. Like, I think they'll go there eventually, right? But I think the final resting place, this is going to get auctioned off in like 10, 15 years. Ham or someone like Matt or something is gonna sit there and be like,
Not
"I
me. Not
here's
me.
50,000. Here's 50,000."
No, they're not.
Somebody will,
Not
but not somebody like me.
Bro, I
Cozy,
haven't bought anything Pokemon since I was probably 9.
Check this
Alright.
out. I've
Most.
never bought anything Pokemon.
agreed, me
Not
me
for
neither.
myself, at least. I bought Pokemon stuff for my daughter because she likes Pokemon, but I don't.
I never bought for myself or for someone else. Every
Aren't
time
you-
I've interacted with Pokemon, it was free. But yeah, Cozy, is my idea far fetched that someone's going to pay top dollar for this in a couple of years?
I think it might eventually get auctioned off, but I think a lot of times, especially with Pokemon, they like their presence. The Pokemon company, they like their presence. They don't need like, oh,
The
we have to
money.
have this money. It's
Mm,
better to have something to show off.
okay. All right. Fair enough. But what do you think about it? What are your thoughts on it?
If it's not fully functional, it's stupid and sucks.
All right, Matt. Thoughts and where do you think is going to be the final resting place of this thing? Do you agree with me or Cozy?
I think, I mean, the final resting place, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Somebody will buy it, though.
So you
But
agree with me?
eventually, in like, 100 years, it'll just be in some landfill.
Probably.
Wow.
Just some, or at the bottom of the ocean, maybe. Who knows?
We'll all be at the bottom of the ocean.
Well,
Or
yeah, I guess.
or the world will turn into the Earth on Starfield and there'll be no ocean.
Or even better yet, when the
Yeah.
sun explodes, it just won't matter.
I mean, the
It
sun
just
How is
won't
that
matter.
better? How is that
Because,
better?
because we'll all be the same when the sun explodes.
Exactly.
That sounds like a great autobiography title.
Maybe
Okay.
someone can write that.
All right.
Not me. Someone will.
Ham, are you with me and Matt? And also, what are your thoughts on this bike?
Tell me when somebody can pop a willy with it. Also, stop, burn out, and let that smoke come out of that Pokemon's ass. Let me know when
Would you?
that can happen.
Would that make you more interested in the bike, Ham? Now I'm curious.
I think that'd make everybody more interested.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it'd also make Honda look good for having a dope
If it
bike
worked.
that's functional instead of, something that could have just been made out of paper mache.
Exactly. If it's not
Yeah.
functional, it might as well not even be real size or anything. It doesn't matter.
On a Heartless.
Heartless, making this that
Yeah.
has no functionality is heartless.
It's just no. It has functionality. It's just not fully functional.
If it's not fully functional,
No.
it's not fully. It's not
Okay,
functional.
so then
It's
what's the
not functional.
functionality of it? Look, what does it do?
I don't know. I don't know. The article says it's not fully functional.
If it's not fully
Yeah.
functional, what it's
Yeah.
saying is that it probably has lights. Somebody probably installed some stupid steam thing
And it
to
probably has a
blow
horn.
steam out of it. It probably has, it probably does some things that nobody really cares about, and it doesn't do what a motorcycle is supposed to do.
Doesn't
It's
even
to
do what
do.
a
Yeah.
bicycle is supposed to do.
So
Alright.
seeing that it says it's a motorbike and it's made by a motorbike company, but it don't motor down the street, I don't like it.
It ain't motorbiking.
It ain't motoring.
Ham said motor like 4 times in that soliloquy. Interesting.
It's just, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's fun to look at and maybe take a picture with, but I don't know. Like, to me, that just is the epitome of a waste of time. People want to talk about waste, and then we get stuff like that.
It is waste.
And then we get stuff
It
like
is
that, and that's
waste.
like, all right.
So, do you agree with me and Matt, or are you with Cozy in terms of, is this thing going to get sold off eventually
Why wouldn't it
to
get
a
sold off
rich?
eventually? People buy anything.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Just want to say I
What's
went
this?
62-20 in a game of Call of Duty just now.
There's probably somebody
Rachy
subscribe to
wants
this
to.
channel that would buy this thing. They probably not for the price that they'll ask, but you know what I'm saying. There's somebody that
Bill
would
would.
I'd
have
buy it for
Bill
treatment.
buy it.
I was going to say like Cozy will probably buy
I'd
this.
buy that for $1.
I don't know, Cozy. I think if we gave you $1 million and they charged you 50,000, you'd probably pay. Come on.
Actually, I probably wouldn't. That's too much for a non-fully functional bike.
Like,
It was fully functional, yeah, but I can't even ride it around.
doesn't
there's no
connect to
point.
any video games.
Would you?
It does nothing.
Would you ride that around,
Yes,
Cozy?
absolutely.
If this thing on the screen was functional, you would ride that around
Yeah.
to
Why
work,
not?
to
No,
get your
not to work.
groceries.
Absolutely not to work.
No one's riding that to their job.
It would be it'd be like, your Sunday car.
Exactly.
Right.
Did
just
you
like
guys?
no one's driving like a Model T Ford to work, you know.
Yeah, no one's doing that.
Did you guys
No.
by chance? I've just opened up Blue Sky and I see a screenshot from Twitter, of course. Grum's posted. He quote tweeted Assassin's Creed. He said March.
Yeah, then they
20th
bodied
Assassin's-
his ass.
and they fucking ratioed him to hell. Oh my god,
Yep.
that's hilarious.
Goes around, comes around.
I don't know what
Sapo says no, it's not. None of you play Pokemon except Cozy. What?
Right.
So
right,
I'll send
Matt,
you.
go
I'll
ahead.
send you. I'll send you.
No.
a screenshot,
Matt, go ahead. Explain it for everyone in the chat, just in case someone's curious.
Assassin's Creed tweets, fight for justice as a powerful samurai and as a deadly ninja in breathtaking feudal Japan. Grums quote tweeted that March 20th is when Assassin's Creed Shadows ships. They are so confident that they locked replies to this post. Remember to identify as non-binary. That joke. We get Ubisoft to change, and the other top publishers will notice as well. Assassin's Creed says, thank you for considering us a top publisher. While our media ads typically don't allow comments, our regular posts do. And they did some emojis, and they fucking ratioed the shit out of them.
Damn.
Grum's got 4K likes on that, and Assassin's Creed Shadows got 34K likes, at least in this screenshot.
I think people are starting to get tired of this whole Grums thing.
I think I've seen people say things
I'm
like,
sure.
man, some people are critically thinking about like this is just negative, trying to get people to engage with their negative emotions.
Yeah, it's just being negative for the sake of it. And it's cool to criticize things, but just being negative to be negative all the time is just kind of it's tiring. Boring.
It's exhausting.
It's very boring.
It's just like toxic positivity as well. You can't be sitting
works
there.
both ways. Works
Yeah,
both
you
ways,
can't.
yes.
Dude, the extremes of anything. Anything in the extreme is bad.
Yes, 100%.
Anyways. Yeah. Darizy says he drives a Model T to work, Go ahead, Cozy.
Driving a Model T to work? Okay, Grandpappy, great Grandpappy.
Rich Grandpappy, alright? Darizy, you wanna be my Grandpappy?
Honestly, a lot of those old car models can be found for like super cheap, and you just have to fix it up yourself. You just have to space.
The problem is parts, Cozy. The problem is parts. My dream car is a Land Rover. Is a 1992 to 1996 Land Rover. That's my dream 4x4 vehicle because I also have a dream sedan, right? 1969 Camaro. And finding the parts for that vehicle, the Defender, it's hell. It is hell, especially with pricing. Model T is way older. So I can only imagine how expensive it is to get the parts. I'm sure the parts exist, but the problem is price.
Let's see.
Are you checking how much it costs
Yeah.
to get parts for a Model T?
Yeah, let's see.
You guys are
Alright.
really thinking about y'all talking about the Model T now? What
Guess
happened?
not. No.
Actually,
What?
complete
Davies
running
says
engine is only 3,000.
That's
a
That's
complete
cheap.
running engine.
Yeah.
All right. I don't trust that
Because
that
no one wants one
site, but
except for
okay.
probably like 5 people that are like, man, I really love driving around my Model T. A lot of people who fix them up, they don't use the original engines and stuff.
I can't wait until no one wants to drive a fucking Defender. Anyways,
No, that wouldn't be the same at all.
I don't
Because the
understand.
parts, newer car, if it's not an old car that were
they don't
quite
have the
simple,
capacity.
92 is almost 30 years old, Cozy.
yes, but it's not old enough for the car to be simple enough for the parts to be super cheap. The Model
awesome.
T is really simple car.
Thanks, Cozy. Thanks for
All
blowing
right,
up my dreams. Thanks. And
you can
moving on.
become a
Yeah,
millionaire.
all you gotta do, Luke, is live another 70 years? Call it,
Bro,
and you'll be
you know
you'll
how
be good
hard
to go.
you know how hard it is to clutch one of those Defenders right now in my 30s. Can you imagine?
It'll
No, never mind.
By that time, everyone else who wanted one will have one or be dead. So you just gotta
there you
last
go.
longer than them.
Out of
Great.
spite.
Great. Out of spite. Okay. Great.
Moving
Out of
on.
spite. We have a bit
Okay.
of a spicy
Great.
story.
Moving on.
Oh,
Or, or it's not spicy. I don't know. I think it's kind of spicy. Quote, I did encourage the battle.
you probably think it's all
PlayStation
spicy.
versus Xbox console war was healthy, but has lost its feistiness, said one Mr. Peter Moore, former Xbox boss. So in an interview
Mhm.
on Denny Pena's YouTube channel, shout out to Denny Pena, Moore was asked about Xbox's current strategy for releasing its first-party games on other systems, most notably PS5. Moore, who joined Xbox in 2003 to help it compete with the PS2 and GameCube, then oversaw the launch of the 360, said that in that era, the concept of console wars was a good thing for the industry because it kept each side in the public eye. According to Moore, the mainstream press previously blamed all of society's ills on video games, saying that they were, quote, a waste of time, creating violence, blah, 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 all of that. The early 2000s was a phenomenal platform for us to get off the back pages and get on the front pages and to be taken seriously as an entertainment medium. Peter Moore was notorious for appearing at shows like E3 with game tattoos such as his Halo 2 tattoo. I used to think that was real. I believed that he got
I
a
did
Halo
too when
2
I first
tattoo.
saw it. I
Ah,
thought it was
fuck.
real also.
Yeah, is
And
it fake
That was
his,
tattoo?
funny.
yeah,
It
and
was a
his,
real fake one, yeah.
it was a real freak. And his Grand Theft Auto 4 tattoo used in an attempt to convince the public that GTA was now associated with the Xbox brand. Moore says that these and other PR stunts were necessary at the time for helping to grow the industry. We needed to do a ton of missionary work in those days. Pause. And at the same time, we were young enough to have fun and do all the daft stuff that we did and all of the stunts, he replied. I think the console wars that you're kind of alluding to were healthy for the industry. Look, I've said it before. Certainly, I did encourage the battle because I think gamers love to see Xbox versus PlayStation, maybe Nintendo as well, and that that I think was a rising tide that lifted all ships. If Microsoft had the choice, would they make hardware? No, he explained. Would they be delighted if they could be a multi-$100 billion entity delivering content directly to your television or whatever monitor you choose to play on? You bet. You know the classic Netflix model? You just select who's playing this. 5,000 people playing this. I'm going to jump in right now. No latency, no lag, you're in, and there doesn't need to be a box between you and your controller and the TV set. But still, consoles are, as we've seen, particularly with Nintendo now, people love their hardware. Last quote from Moore is, the acquisition of Activision Blizzard changed things. I think, I know at Microsoft. And so this is not the old days of the console wars and punching each other and trying to steal customers and trying to get market share and build your attach rate. This is bigger than that in an economic sense. Has it lost a bit of the feistiness that the industry I fed upon and grew upon? I think so. Yes. So yeah, the console war is dead. And that was Mr. Peter Moore speaking on Denny Pena's podcast.
Oh
Ham, I
yeah.
want to start off with you. What are your thoughts on Peter Moore's comments?
I mean, I think we're still saying the same thing that we've been saying for a while now,
Mm-hmm.
which is once Xbox said, the games were starting to go over on other places, it was starting to kind of fall apart. And now it's 10-year deal over here, 10-year deal over there. Games are coming everywhere. And we see that. So, yeah, it is just what it is. It's over.
Yeah. I've seen some people mad at the concept that all this talk about the industry has changed is bullshit. Specifically, I saw this from one of my moods, Reforge, right? It's like all this talk about gaming has changed, the industry has changed. Really, who's changed is Xbox. PlayStation hasn't changed. PlayStation hasn't changed. Nintendo hasn't changed. Xbox has changed, and now they're trying to drag everyone else with them.
That's
Well, if
not
they're
true.
doing that, well,
Yeah,
time
that's-
out.
yeah.
Well, time out because I want to kind of go off of that real quick.
Yo,
If that is true, then why has PlayStation went the route that they have? Because
putting games on PC.
Because in my opinion, the only person you can say that hasn't changed is Nintendo. Literally, that's the only person you can say that hasn't changed. PlayStation has changed. They haven't changed as much as Microsoft has changed, but they have definitely changed. And people are looking at things differently. Just a few days ago, the beta program came out, and people are like, "That says PC there."
Beta.
Well, why does that say PC right there? And it's like, because that's part of y'all's ecosystem now. You don't want to like swallow that pill, but that's the reality. PC is part of your ecosystem now. It is. They've been telling you that this whole generation. But everyone just says Microsoft's changing. Microsoft's changing. Microsoft's changing. But just earlier last year, what happened with PlayStation with the whole PSN network thing on PC? That was a big deal. Worldwide, it was a big deal. So if anything is changing, it's been more or less things trying to get everywhere as much as they can Xbox completely caved in. PlayStation is caving in, but not completely caving. As where Nintendo is literally the only one DMCAing motherfuckers. And telling, hey, you better y'all better take down Yuzu. Y'all better take down that. Y'all better take down that. Nintendo's the only one doing that right now. Who else is trying to stop their content from getting to other places other than Nintendo?
PlayStation still has Demon Souls.
Stop it.
What does that mean?
He brought up.
Why did you say? Why did you say that?
I see why he said
I
that.
I don't see why he said that. But yeah,
He
okay.
said that because it's just like they're grasping at straws, essentially, and saying, "Oh, we still got this one right here. This one nobody else has, but we do."
You can't play Bloodborne on PC.
What? Wait. But what game sold better than Bloodborne that you can play on PC? In fact, sold better on PC.
I mean, all the other FromSoft games that unanimously sold better and were like obviously much more praised. Is that the answer to that?
Oh no, I meant what PlayStation game specifically.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like games like Bloodborne. Okay, sure.
There's no Astrobot on PC.
How much did Astrobot even sell?
Millions.
It's a million. It sold a million.
I can't keep a straight face. I can't fucking do it. I'm trying. I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's not on PC. It's not on PC yet.
Ooh, Foam Stars. There's no Foam Stars on PC. Take that.
You know why there's no Foam
PlayStation standing on
because it's not worth investing to bring it to PC. That's why it's not on PC. Because nobody's playing it. That'd be like bringing that one game. What was that one game that flopped on? That was like a PlayStation exclusive.
Concord.
No.
It was on PC.
Babylon's Fall. Babylon's Fall. Is that
Concord was on PC? Damn.
Yeah, Concord was on PC. Yes.
Yeah,
Babylon's Fall. Yep. Yeah, the game that came out like a couple years ago, PlayStation only, and it just flopped.
Pretty bad.
So like, I mean, it's like the games that need to go to PC, they will go to PC. All these other games that didn't really matter and didn't really perform well, then they'll stay on PlayStation. It's not that important. But like anything that's worth anything is going to go to PC.
Hey,
but
I'll just go on ahead and throw this out here. Look, because I feel like this is what you're asking to hear, and I feel like this is what a lot of people need to just flat out acknowledge. It's these two things in particular.
What?
Xbox lost. Cut. Dry. Done. Lost. Xbox lost the fight, you guys. There's nothing else. You can keep holding the line all you want, which I'm right there with you. But they lost.
Is that what Luke wants to hear? That's all Luke wants to hear.
But the second part is the second part that people need to understand, which they refuse to.
Okay.
Is between the fight between Xbox and PlayStation, they both completely evolved from what they were when we first, or when a lot of us got into these two platforms. None of them are the same at all anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I want to correct you on that one, Ham.
Good luck.
I think we're being disingenuous when we point at Xbox as the losers. This to me is like, you remember when Michael Schumacher was dominating F1 for like 8-9 years, right? This guy was number one. The only high stakes question was who's going to finish number 2 in the championship, right? I feel like we need to address the whole room. Xbox lost. PlayStation also lost. For me, I don't agree that the discussion of console wars is only Xbox and PlayStation. No, it's Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo.
That's fair.
There's only one winner of the console wars. I'm sorry. It's Nintendo. Cope, sieve, mold, bite the floor. I don't know. Figure it out. But Nintendo also has a console. And that's the console. And this is like blasphemy to say, right? Because I'm a PlayStation guy. Used to be. Nintendo produced a console that beat the PS2 in sales. The motherfucking PS2. So it didn't just win now. It took the trophy all time. All time. It's like, I'm not just gonna beat your ass now. I'm going to beat your ancestors too. That's what happened with Nintendo. So no, but that's where I want to correct you, Ham. It's not Xbox that lost. It's Xbox and PlayStation that lost. We need to give Nintendo their flowers. They kicked everyone's ass.
Check super chats, Loke, when you can.
They made. I see them. I see them. They made everyone run crying and moaning to the PC platform. That's what Nintendo did. Clapped everyone out. So this whole discussion, Xbox lost. Xbox and PlayStation. All right, everyone's porting to PC except for Nintendo.
A lot of places are figuring out ways to port to Nintendo, and Nintendo is trying to make it more accessible.
Where they're like, welcome, come in, have a seat. That's what Nintendo's doing. AC Vic, member for 16 whole months. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, bro.
Bam.
Says, can someone mute Ham? Ham was speaking too much truth, hurting his feelings.
I think something that a lot of so you have on one end you have people who they need to have these console wars because that's their they make money off of it. So if it's gone, then they're just like, yeah, PlayStation #1, and they're gonna speak to a crowd that's like, okay, but what are we even talking about? You can't. But sorry. So I think that's the problem with that. But overall, as I'm always say, you can't expect things to always just be the same. Nintendo has been around for a long time. They have not always made video games.
Yep.
Hard company.
PlayStation is an entertainment company. Primarily an entertainment company.
This is ridiculous.
And Microsoft is essentially a software company. We already all know that something that they keep talking about, the console base is stagnant. It's not growing. It's not rising with the development costs, it's not rising with any of that. And imagine 30 years from now. Do you think anyone is still going to be enticed by a device that you're tethered to?
Cozy. I still remember reading articles in 2010 when 3G was getting rolled out and people talking about the death of the console. I'm not betting against Nintendo. I'm willing to bet against PlayStation and Xbox. I'm willing to bet against those two, but Nintendo, nah.
Even Nintendo, like, even Nintendo has to adapt, because you look at the Switch, like they adapted with the Switch. Like they took a home console and said, "Hey, here's." They did. They took a home console and they said,
I
"Hey,
watched the video, Matt. Sorry. Finish your point.
They took a home console and made it a tablet. And what are kids playing now? What are most kids playing now? Most kids aren't playing
Tablets.
a console. They're on tablets. That's what a
Yes.
Switch is. That's
Yeah.
how like even Nintendo had to adapt. It's one of
So
those
the
things.
re-
Nintendo could have come out with another console, another home console, just a regular ass home console, but it would not have done what the Switch has done. Wouldn't have.
the reason I'm saying they didn't adapt is because I think they didn't change. They just upgraded. I was watching a video from this Nintendo like super fan, and he was like, everyone thinks that Nintendo like innovated. They didn't. The same Nintendo that came up with the Game Boy in the 90s, that's all they did now. This is just another Game Boy. It just has more powerful specs. They didn't change. They didn't like morph into something that's completely different. It's kind of like what happened with Monster Hunter, for example. Monster Hunter, if you play the current Monster Hunter, you can still see that this is Monster Hunter. It's like upgraded, but the bones of it is still the same thing. Xbox and PlayStation, to me at least, on this point of like exclusivity, those are the things that made the bones of these platforms. Less so with Xbox because Xbox was so dynamic with their first console. Their first console was like earth shattering in terms of what you could do with it, besides the exclusives that they brought, right? But it's always been that the core and the bones of your video game console is the exclusive content on it.
But if you look
And
at so
Nintendo has not changed in terms of the exclusive content or even how they give it to you.
But they
Everyone
did
talks about the
change. But
Switch in
they did
terms of,
change in
oh,
how
it's
they give it to you.
portable. It's like, bro, everyone
Yes.
talks about those stories when you were a kid with the Game Boy and it was portable, and that's
what
why everyone fell
don't
in
they
love with
have?
Nintendo.
No, but what
Sorry?
don't they have? They don't have a separate standalone anymore. They used to have the home console and the what you call it and the handheld. The handheld for a long time
Yes.
was propping them up, and they don't have the home console anymore. They don't have a standalone home console anymore. They don't have a standalone home. They basically just combine their markets.
Yes,
You put it
it's
together.
just one big thing, and that's what I was trying to say. And Cozy just said it better. Is that's them adapting. That's them. They still have the model that you're talking about. They still have. We have our exclusive games that you can only play on our thing. They still have that. You're not wrong there. But they still on the hardware side, they have adapted. They are
And
making adaptations to what they do.
and when we talk about PlayStation, PlayStation is a product of Sony. Sony, consumer electronics, uh, music, and movies. Those were their big things. And
Now it's just PlayStation.
sadly, no, they still do music.
The
They still
TVs are still big though. The
their
TVs are still
TVs their TVs aren't that big. They sell a lot,
no,
but
I
really.
haven't wanted a Sony TV in forever. I remember the last time I even
no.
thought about wanting a Sony TV was like 2010 when the Bravias were new. Um, but like I haven't thought about a Sony TV in
Their
Jesus, well over a
cameras,
decade.
their cameras doing well.
Yeah, cameras are good.
Damn.
Uh,
AC Vic founder, Mr. Click, thank you so much for the $2 super chats. Says, I'm not a mod, but can I time out a panel member? I wonder who that's for. Probably for me, if I had to guess. Probably for me.
Hopefully for Loke, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Ty is coping in the comment sections. Ty,
Oh no.
sorry, man. Sorry,
Oh
dude.
no.
Yeah, they lost. They lost because they're putting their games on other platforms. Nintendo's
that
not putting their games on other platforms.
that's
It
not
it
the
just
thing though. You play, Nintendo might not even in 100 years. Nintendo might not even be I mean, none of them could be a company. But you can't look at what today is. I mean, the Wii U was a colossal failure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, we already know the next Switch is not going to do those crazy numbers.
Hmm.
I don't know.
They gotta. The only way to do those numbers is to like. I feel like that's a one-time kind of thing. Like the next Switch will be really successful. It's
Yeah.
just, you got to get all the people from the current Switch onto the next one, and that doesn't happen quickly. And sometimes it just doesn't happen at all. In
Yeah, but
general, sometimes people are cool.
it very well can if you can make it stand out in a way that the other one couldn't. Like obviously from the PS1 to PS2, one of the main things that stood out for it was its DVD drive, right?
Sure.
Which you could do
Yeah.
more than just more than just game on it, which made that second iteration of kind of the same thing but upgraded um a lot better. And then on top of it later on, you got internet and stuff like that you could add to it and stuff like that as well. But for the Switch 1 versus the Switch 2, I mean, they so far, I mean, obviously it's still early. We're still waiting, I believe, until I believe April 1st, right? It's April something.
Yeah.
Till they actually come out and talk about more about what it can do. So I'm not sure if I'm too comfortable with saying, hey, this isn't an upgrade enough. But on the outside looking in from what we've just, seen briefly, it doesn't look that insane. But I did happen to see the leaks that came out about like the power specs on it. And I thought it was really interesting that it had like the same kind of charger or like, watt rated charger that like the ROG Ally had. So I'm like, what does that mean? That sounds
That
like
means
quite a bit
everything is
more.
going to the Switch.
That sounds
Well,
like quite a bit more power.
I would expect it to be
Yeah, more
relatively
powerful.
close to the ROG Ally, or like even like the Legion go whatever you want to put there. I would expect it to be at least pretty close in power, maybe a little more or less. I mean, it is a new generation after all. They're talking about like Microsoft wants to support it. We've seen PlayStation to a certain degree support it, so it's like I would assume it's going to be in that area of power. Not to mention all the advancements because it is an NVIDIA chip. So all the advancements and how NVIDIA loves to push the AI and everything, there's probably going to be a decent amount of that and that. So like upscaling and all sorts of machine learning and stuff to make things look better, even though the hardware might not necessarily be up to tasks by itself. But like, yeah, I mean, I would expect it to be a pretty big leap.
Seawolf, well done, man. Rank 40 on Monster Hunter. Well done. Go ahead,
I
Coz.
I mean, I expect it to be a leap too, but here's the thing. How many they have to be able to get those people on board for another, what's it called? Mario Kart and Animal Crossing and Zelda.
Yeah. Like those are the games for Nintendo, those are the games like I'm hyped for Metroid Prime, but like that's not the thing that's going to convert every Switch owner to now they're a Switch 2 owner. The thing that's going to do that is literally what Cozy just said, like Mario Kart,
And backwards
Zelda.
compatibility.
Yeah, that's very important. Also, that's at least.
When they
Well, yeah,
announced that,
that's definitely very important.
that's one of the things that makes me confident that they're going to sell a lot of those because they said they're going to be backwards compatible.
I think that's also the thing is you have to, a lot of the people that bought the Switch are not the standard gaming audience. And those are the people that they have to get to come back. They don't have to
Explain.
worry about the me. Like a lot, so the Switch audience had a similar type of audience to the what do you call it? To the Wii audience.
Mm-hmm.
Very casual and broad.
Yes. They aren't the audience that's like, I will buy everything Nintendo.
All right. Well, even I'm thinking about getting a Switch because Seawolf Gaming said something earlier on in the chat that I wanted to highlight. He said, "But weren't exclusives bad?" Exclusives, Seawolf Gaming, exclusives are a motivating factor. Obviously, for the customer, they're bad, right? Because exclusives mean even though I have a nice PC, I can't play the next Zelda. I now have to go out and spend an extra $500 to buy a Switch, another $60, $70 to buy a Zelda, and pay whatever subscription that they charge on that console. So it's a motivating factor, and it's always negative for the customer. But the reason why certain companies or a certain company has, in my opinion, won the console war is because they stuck to those guns of exclusivity and motivated enough people to go and purchase their console and the games on it. That's what exclusives are to me. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Cozy, what are your thoughts on Peter Moore and the supposed death of the console war?
I mean, that was just according to the time, and the times have changed, and so it means accurate because that was that was when it mattered more. That was when you had less people either entrenched or moving around.
Mm-hmm.
Now the move is pretty much PC. So there isn't that same
Yeah.
sort of concern for like, oh, how can I get more people into my platform?
So to that
I
point, does PC count as a platform? Like that you put
Yeah, it's a
next to
platform.
Nintendo,
It is,
next to PlayStation, next to Xbox?
yes.
PC is a platform, yes.
All right. All right.
I
Matt,
mean,
you're going to
it's
say something else? Go ahead.
no, like to Peter Moore's comments, I think he's totally correct. Kind of what Cozy said, where I think also the other problem is like people have kind of grown. Like back during the 360 and the PS3, console warring was fun, and that's because it was like I think we were all of a certain age where it was like a lot of people playing games. Not everybody playing games, obviously, but a lot of people playing games at that time were like kids, teenagers, young adults, and stuff. And like console warring was fun for that group of people. And I feel like at a certain point, like whether you call it last generation or this generation, it just I think there was like a shift for a lot of people from console to Cozy's point to PC. So like a lot of the people who were really into that console war thing, like one of my buddies from school was like day one Xbox 360. By the end of the 360 generation, he was on PC, and he was like a hardcore Xbox, like you call him a fanboy.
Yeah.
But he's fully on PC now, and he's been on PC since like 2009, 2010.
I'm
And
so
it's like
jealous of him right now.
there's tons of people who are like that, and it's like during that whole generation people moved to the PC and they just kind of forgot about the console war. And then you still had people kind of pushing it through the Xbox One and PS4 generation, and then it whittled away even more, and some people still push it during the current generation, but it's whittling away even more to the point where it's like all the people who were our age back during the 360 generation, they don't give a shit. They just want to play whatever game looks cool.
That's all it is, bro.
Yeah, and if it's on PlayStation, it's on PlayStation. If it's on Xbox, it's on Xbox. If it's on PC or Nintendo or whatever or mobile, it doesn't matter. Whatever looks cool, they'll play it where they need to play it. It doesn't bother them where it's at, which I
Yeah.
think is kind of a healthy thing, a healthier way to look at things overall. Honestly,
Raichi says Xbox lost the moment they couldn't assure us that third-party games wouldn't skip the platform. I kind of feel that. I did feel a bit of that sting, especially this gen. I know it's not most games. Most games do go on Xbox, but you get one,
Mhm.
two, three big ones that don't, and it's like, ah, man, this kind of sucks, you know? And for me, it's kind of fine because I do have a PS5, but still, it was like, yo, imagine if I only played on Xbox. I'd be pissed right now seeing everyone talking about Black Myth, you know? I think it's fair. Seawolf jumped ship after Metal Gear Solid 4. Fair enough, but that's also what I did. I bought the PS3. I played Metal Gear 4. We played the crap out of that game, me and my brother. We beat it so many times. And then we started looking around like, okay, what else is there on PlayStation? And there wasn't much. And then everyone has got their chainsaw lancers on Gears of War in the whole like hostel. Everyone. We were in varsity at the time. Everyone had Gears of War. Like, well, might as well go get an Xbox. And then that was it. That was the end of the PlayStation 3 for us. Do you agree that that the PC is a platform as well to be put next to the consoles, or is it in a special category like people like to put Nintendo in its own little box?
Oh man, that's tough. I mean, I really don't want to put it in the console category because it's not that, but I mean, it is.
Platform category.
But yeah, it is a platform. I mean, it's 100% that. There's a reason why they, say PC at at the end of the commercial for these games is what and whatnot because it is a platform to acknowledge. So yeah, I mean, I'd 100% say so. It's clearly growing faster than any other platform is right now from just like sheer people being interested in it compared to past. Um, it's getting more accessible, especially with items like the Steam Deck coming out that are able to connect very similar to something like a Switch.
Mhm.
And all people want is what Matt said and kind of alluded to earlier is something that they can trust that has accessibility. And for a lot of people that's PlayStation, for people like myself it's Xbox, for other people it's Nintendo, but like where are you going to get the kind of games that you're usually into, right? And that's still kind of a marketplace that's available now. There's a reason why Capcom stopped trying to even make anything like GTA or something like that. They know their lane, they know what they're good at, they know what to do.
Yeah.
From Software is another phenomenal example of that. Like there's a reason that they're not making a a Minecraft a Minecraft competitor, right? Because that's not their lane. They don't care about that.
Can you
That's
imagine?
no, I couldn't imagine it because it just doesn't make any sense for them,
That'd be
right?
crazy.
So I mean, all of these people, or like whether you love it or not, whether it's as big as the other subset of people, there are still a lot of people that are interested in these different platforms and what they have to give. The more that they kind of mix and intertwine, the more it may seem confusing to those customers that are really, really staunch on, that platform only doing things with that, platform first party wise and stuff like that, right? But the reality is majority of people don't care. When people go to buy a new phone, they go to Google and download all their shit. Whether it says Samsung, whether it says Huawei, whether it says
Wowie.
Motorola.
Motorola.
Yeah, it doesn't
Damn,
matter.
that's
People
strike
are
one.
going.
That's strike one for you. Huawei? Bro, come on.
Isn't that what it's called?
No, it's Huawei.
Huawei, whatever. Huawei,
That's what
whatever.
they call it at least.
It looks like Huawei to me. But anyways, But anyways, it doesn't matter. Like regardless, Kyocera,
Come on,
Nokia,
bro.
it doesn't matter. People are going on there and they're logging in to what's familiar to them and getting the shit that they want out of it. End of
Yeah.
the day. Same with that with your TV. You know, your TV comes with all the things that you want. You get what you like. You could stand on business and say, hey, I only like this one. I only fuck with Netflix because they got all this shit. And, you know, fuck Prime and everything else. Those things, you know, are way too expensive. Especially like I'm right there with somebody that's like, man, to hell with HBO because that shit is way too expensive. But I'm
I
unless you
opted
get
in out
bundled
of
up.
HBO
Wait, is
and
HBO
all
that
these
cheap?
other. It's
Uh,
not, but if you pack it up with everything else, $10, $10, $10, $10. Next
I
thing
know. I
you
was just thinking
spending
if
like
you had just
$60 a month.
HBO, I mean, I wouldn't have just HBO because it doesn't offer enough. But if you had just HBO, it's kind of cheaper than technically Netflix, but it has less.
The only ones
way
that I
less.
pay all the time, is Netflix and Disney for like
I do
ESPN
Prime and
and
AMC
whatever.
Plus.
Yeah.
But
Everything else, I'm in and out. Go ahead.
but like bottom line is people are going to keep trying to shop at the things that continue to serve them, and
Hell yeah.
none of these companies have some of these companies have changed the way that they're serving, but not one of them has said they're done serving you yet. So like, I mean, until one of them closes up shop or one of them gets bought out by another company, which if it gets bought out, it's still
Wait,
going to
so are
be
we saying,
serving just under
hold
somebody
on,
else.
hold on. Are we saying until they shut down the way Sega did, we can't say that Xbox lost? We can't say that PlayStation lost? Is that what you're saying?
No, if they shut down
No,
the way
that's not what
Sega
I'm
did, they
saying.
still
Like,
didn't lose.
Oh, okay.
like if we're just like because the way I look at it is just by generation, right?
Yeah.
And so far, you know, Xbox technically got third like every generation, technically.
Consistently.
Right? It was high up in certain generations and lower in other generations, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're still continuously giving us something. And they're saying, hey, in the future, look out because we're still giving you something. If third place is still doing that and finding a lot of different ways to make money and stuff like that, then I don't expect anything to really change a whole lot other than the way that you consume some of this stuff. And a lot of these companies seem to be working together with some of this stuff. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I remember not that long ago, Hip Hop Gamer was talking about how Microsoft's actually helping Sony with part of their next console or something like that. But meanwhile, we're also
Especially
seeing
with Azure Cloud Gaming.
exactly
They're even having a deal with
right.
that.
So like,
actually.
so it's so there's like so much money on the table and so much different technologies that all these people are using. Because keep in mind, who owned Blu-ray discs before? Or who owned Blu-ray discs when Xbox was able to start putting Blu-ray discs on their shit?
That was Sony, right?
Exactly. So what I'm saying is all these companies, as much as we're warring and bitching at each other and moaning,
Getting personal, doxing each other and everything.
They've all been working with each other the entire time and just figuring out how to kind of finesse each other a little bit, but always making sure that the other side is paying them. Now things are getting extra weird because you're seeing actual video games go over to another person. And then that has you kind of thinking like, who's really benefiting off of what? Right?
Exactly.
And then it starts to get, oh, this is weird. This is weird because we're seeing Xbox benefit more of a PlayStation than PlayStation's benefiting with their own games. But if we look at hardware, Xbox can't smoke a cigarette next to a PlayStation. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like such a mind fuck with all of this stuff going on. And meanwhile, everyone's telling you who won, what won. And that's where Loke was kind of talking about earlier, which is like, yo, like, let's define what winning even means at this point, right?
Yeah, is it shutting
because
up shop?
if
Is
you're
it
talking about
exclusive?
hardware, then sure. I mean, Nintendo's technically winning it all, but PlayStation
Yeah,
is right there looking strong, and Xbox is far away. But if we're talking about content and attach rates, Sony's looking bad. So
that's
it's
why
so,
they
so,
wanted to
so it's
put
just
PS
like, what do
Plus
you
on
want to talk
PC.
about? But for the most part, when we talk about console war, we're talking about the console. We're
I'm
not
talking
talking
about the
about.
games.
A lot of people are not though, Loke.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
I get it.
so for me, the thing is when I think about it, it's sort of like looking at once upon a time, you got a console, like when Loke was talking about, you got the games available in it. That the problem is
Back in
it's
my
not
day,
it's not even the same game. Because those games aren't making money. Except for Nintendo, those games aren't really making them a whole lot of money. The money is in the subs and the battle passes and the skins.
yeah,
So unless you're doing a Nintendo, you're not. It's not looking good either way. It's
not
like
looking great.
it's like it's like someone being like, "I won I won the race," but it's a race to see who's the biggest loser.
Jeez, so much positivity, Cozy. God damn.
Uh,
Even Matt's chuckling. Wow, that was
I mean, it's the
kind
truth though. It's like, what did you
of
win?
dark.
What's your prize? It certainly isn't,
Second to Nintendo,
it,
that's the price.
it certainly isn't your games being massively profitable.
That ABK deal exposed so much. When I saw that top 10 of like the top 10 games that keep selling every year, that blew my mind.
mhm.
I was like,
Seawolf
what?
in the chat says, "Remember when Mass Effect 2 had multiple discs and just one Blu-ray on PS3?" And one thing I'll say about that is, yeah, it was cool that it had one disc on PS3, but the load times on PS3 were disgusting.
On
It
PS3.
wasn't great. It
Oh
was
no,
not
no.
great.
You don't remember the horror of like get the new game comes out,
Hmm.
get it all set up to install, update in the morning, and some network error happened, and you would just be sitting like you were like, there go my weekend. That was my weekend. That was my entire week. Oh my goodness.
Now you have to read a book, watch some anime,
Oh my
go do something with
goodness.
your life, or play an old game. Raichi, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, tired of crossing fingers during each game reveal. Raichi is still mad about the third party games that skipped Xbox. He even made a list: Genshin, Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, Infinity Nikki, Weathering Wave, Wukong, Baldur's Gate, Persona 5, and many other big titles skipped Xbox and all were delayed for years. I can see how
Facts.
that can chafe your tits, especially if Xbox is your only console, and then a whole bunch of people are playing on other platforms.
I mean, to be fair with the Persona 5 thing, um, Persona was a long time just, the entire Megaton series. Atlas wasn't very big, and they were like one of those moderately we do okay in numbers uh Japanese devs. Like they weren't very big, and Persona for mostly wasn't a super seller even. It was their best seller, but it wasn't a super seller if you look at the numbers. Uh, but so and that was in like a time when like, the handful of small JRPGs just stayed where they were.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, Seawolf Gaming. Lots of smoking in MGS4. Just watching Snake smoke. We back in those days, right? Back in my day, you could actually read the tips and finish reading the tip on the screen, understand it. And if you have a doubt, you could go read it again and it'd still be loading. Now it's a lot faster. So yeah, that was Peter Moore. Anyone have anything else to add before we move on?
Nope.
All right. Guess we're done. And the last topic for today, this one I know is spicy. I know it's spicy.
Spicy.
Yeah, this one's definitely
You
spicy.
probably
Sony.
consider salt spicy.
So
Is this what I
nice one,
think it
Cozy.
is?
Sony is leasing PS5, PS5 Pro, and PS Portal consoles to UK players for a monthly
Oh
fee.
man,
Ah,
that's
yeah.
just that's so funny.
The leasing, the leasing plan. I knew you guys were gonna have fun with this, which has been branded Flex. Cringe.
Like that's the
Is
same shit that NZXT. Oh my.
is a partnership between PlayStation and leasing firm Raylo. Players can choose to lease standard or digital PS5 consoles, PlayStation Portal handhelds, PlayStation VR 2 headsets, or PS5 Pro consoles on a rolling monthly contract. They can also sign up for 12-month, 24-month, or 36-month terms for lower monthly payments. For example, a PS5 digital edition console costs £21, £22, it's £21.95, £22 per month to lease, with the option to cancel at any time. By committing to 12, 24, or 36 months, the price is lowered to 16, 11, or 10, or wait, 16, 12, or 11 pounds per month, respectively. The cost to rent each device is as follows, that which is the prices oh no, actually they separated them. So the PS Portal is the PS Portal is £14 a month. God damn. PS VR is £51 a month.
You could probably just save 50 bucks.
Bro.
Wait, why don't you just
Oh
save
my
one and buy your own?
god.
What the fuck? Okay, so
Is this
those are the
is
standard. What
look,
is
you
it?
said you
What?
read earlier. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is this really called Flex?
Yes, it's called Flex.
Dude, that that is literally what NZXT
It makes
called their
you flex
thing.
your wallet.
And Gamers Nexus did like multiple videos calling it a scam. Calling the Flex system a fucking scam. They did like 6 videos on this. Like not even that long ago. Like I don't know, 6 months ago. Let's call it 6 months. And they just to keep this is so funny. This is so funny,
Um,
dude.
if
I
players
just
go
I'll
ahead,
mute
Matt. Go
myself.
ahead. No,
I'll
no,
mute
no,
myself. Continue.
no. Do not mute yourself. Bald, Steve. I want to hear all of it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Matt.
No,
The
I'm
floor
not
is
even
yours.
mad. That's just fucking hilarious. That's so disrespectful. That's so unbelievably disrespectful to your customers. Like I'll tell you, dude, I want to say to anybody who sees this and says this is good, like and like defends this, like this is good actually for consumers. If anyone holds that stance, and this isn't the official stance of all of TSWS. This is just my stance. Matt likes games. If you hold that stance, you're a fucking idiot.
Oh my God.
I promise you that sincerely, 110%. You're a fucking idiot. Continue, Luke.
I've never heard Matt call anyone and like any name ever.
Well, sometimes it's so hilarious because it feels like a parody of something you would see like an evil corporation in like a movie. This is like something that an evil corporation in a movie would do. Like some evil giant conglomerate. They're like, let's let them rent our things. Are they gonna own it at the end of it? No, they just rent it forever and ever and ever.
Even phone contracts let you keep the phone after like 3 years or something.
Yeah, it's like a parody. It's like a parody of being a terrible company, and they're doing it. That's so funny to me.
This is a funny interaction in the chat. Voidlock said Sony don't care about you. Seawolf
No, they
replied
don't.
Seawolf replied Xbox cares about Sony.
Wow.
And here's the thing. I'll say this: if
Ah,
Xbox does this too, if
hats off,
Xbox does this
Seawolf.
too, which by the way, we're probably not far from Xbox and everybody doing something like this.
Yeah,
I'll have the exact same energy. It's fucking stupid.
But I mean, you
Xbox
can
would
just
not be
save
dumb
the
enough to do
money,
this.
save up, and like.
Yeah, dude.
Uh, yeah.
And
I
like,
think a lot of
damn.
people, because yeah, you know that takes discipline, right? It and also it takes like you have to have to be okay with delayed gratification. That is something that has been mentioned even by like psychologists that say that things like TikTok, for example, they kind of wire the brain to want things immediately. That's why a lot of people that are addicted to reels on TikTok or even Instagram, they struggle to like go to the cinema and watch a movie from start to finish. Because the idea of going through the paces, going through the necessary steps of, okay, now I'm going to go to school for 4 years. Now I'm going to do my masters. Now I'm going to that is stressful because a lot of people are in that mentality of give me everything now. Give me what I want right now.
I get it,
Hmm.
but I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like I have all those things, but I can definitely set aside the same price of money, 50 instead of paying $50 for a console every day, every month. I can set aside $50 here and there, and then be
Yes.
like, oh, now I got a console. That's like 3 months.
Yes.
That's it. No, a
A-
little more.
No, no, that's
As
almost a year, Cozy. $50 a month is almost a year. It's 10 months. $500 to buy a
as
PS5.
yeah, yeah. As
And
someone
that's not
with
even new. That's like second hand or some shit. Sorry, man. Go
uh,
ahead.
no, you're fine. As somebody with severe ADHD and somebody who what you were just talking about, Lope, I thrive on instant gratification.
Hmm.
I feel like even there's got to be like for a person a certain line that you got to be like, okay, I love instant gratification, but I can't like that. I got to draw a line somewhere. And I feel like for me right here, I mean, not like I'd be interested in this other any regardless, but even
Hmm.
if I was, this would be the line. That's the line right there.
The way
Damn.
anything for me that cost over like $150, um, I basically will do something similar where I set aside money every month, and then when I have enough, I actually ask myself, do I still want this, or did I just want that in that moment?
Yeah. Like, is this necessary for
Yeah,
me?
that's true too.
Not necessarily, because, but do I still want it, or was it like
No, no, I
im-
understand. Yeah, yeah.
impulse me that wanted it? Which usually impulse. It's I find out that yes, it was impulse me that wanted it. You don't even need
I
Yes.
that.
do that a lot with games. I do a lot with games.
Same.
I used to buy games just for the sake of fuck it. I'm going to play it at some point in the future. But it clicked years ago. But it clicked. It's like, dude, don't buy it. You're not gonna play it now. Don't buy it. When you want to play it, buy it. And it'll be cheaper. And it might just be the Game of the Year edition with all the DLC. So you win either way.
What if it's the
But
game of another year?
it's it's a it's a it's a constant battle. It's a constant battle.
Yeah.
And wow, Ham, you've been quiet, man. What are your thoughts on this one?
Nah, I think it's kind of stupid. I think just renting consoles in general is stupid.
But you don't want someone else's roaches and bed bugs?
I don't
Ew,
want I don't want to have to deal with
nasty goes.
mailing a $500 device somewhere or receiving a $500 device from somewhere when we got motherfucking porch thieves out here that be taking shit and whatnot, or shit not actually even going back to where it's supposed to be going, and oh, it's now my problem. I'd rather buy it so then I can be like, hey, I got it, or hey, I didn't get it. I don't want to rent from a company like this. Like, this isn't no fucking what is it? What is that? GameFly or something? This ain't no little video game. This is a big ass $500 device. And
Yep.
and if you add and if you get a bundle, imagine getting. Imagine signing up a 36-month contract, getting the PlayStation 5 Pro, a Portal, and the VR2 just for somebody to rob you.
Ha ha.
And knowing these companies, they're like, sure, you got robbed. Sure.
I would.
There
Yeah.
must be some sort of insurance.
Real
Come on.
convenient that you got robbed.
Oh.
Regardless of there's insurance or whatnot, I just don't want to deal with that. You know what I
Alright,
mean?
yeah.
Like, I'd rather like when it comes to a hobby like this, I don't want to rent nothing that's not like just like digital that I could just be playing right then and there, right?
Yeah.
It's different being on a subscription service for a video game. I ain't gonna be on no service for hardware though, man. I ain't getting no Rent-A-Centered out here or nothing. No. Like, and
Yep.
I just don't know. Like, I feel like if you're renting something like this, either you're out of country for a little bit and like for a few months and whatnot, and you don't want to take your other stuff with you, and maybe this makes sense for whatever reason. Because for me, I just pack my shit and take it with me. But anyways, if for whatever reason this makes sense, maybe you're in like a competition and you need something for whatever reason. I don't know what situation this would work for, because for me none of the situations make any sense. But if you were to do this, like, I don't know. For me, it's just like I don't know where your priorities are if you're renting consoles.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it seems
Like-
like, I don't know, man. Like, let's be
it's like,
real.
come
Like,
on, just save up.
It's all
Just save up.
backward.
Yeah,
Exactly.
dude.
It's all backwards if you're renting consoles. Everything's
Yeah.
backwards.
Read a couple books, you know. Find another outlet while you save game. While you
bro,
save.
I'm just
50
saying,
bucks
like,
a month.
I know this is in the UK or whatnot, and sure, this may happen in other countries or whatever, but it's just like, I don't know, man. I've made more than enough to buy a PS5 just from door dashing in like a week. Like, bro, like, there are free things that you could do to make some quick money to be able to do like if you already have a nice enough TV front room and all you need is a PS5 or something like that, I don't think you should be renting it.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Ty is in the chat again. Says miss this part of the convo. Are you all against this? Ty is about to
Come
call
on,
us
Ty.
brokies.
Ty,
He's about to
you
call
should
us
be
brokies.
you should be like telling us exactly why this is absolutely ridiculous. You should be the first person here telling us,
Yeah, because he hates
how
broke people, right?
inappropriate this and unnecessary this is. I don't care if you're like, oh, Microsoft does it too, because I'm sure somewhere Microsoft rents something, but I know they have the all access thing. But
I
that's
ain't
rent
never
to
heard
own.
that.
That's
The
rent
all
to
access
own.
thing is rent to own, and I know there's been some people using that, but I'm not sure within this company if they have other consoles. I'm not sure if they have like a Switch as well, because this seems third party,
Ham's
right?
messy. Ham's messy. There's no switch, man.
See, Ty doesn't know what he's talking about now. So because now he's saying this is good. Families can play games cheaper if
This
they're
is good.
tight with
Oh
cash.
my
This
God.
motherfucker is not
Dude, I don't know
standing on
what's-
business.
I don't know what's
Hypocrite.
gotten in
The
his eye.
epitome of not standing on business.
You're that tight for cash. Get yourself some old gin something and play on that.
Yes. Bro, like, dude, this is not good
Play
in
your
any,
PS4,
in any in any sense. In no sense is this good. This is incredibly predatory at best. At worst, well, I mean, well, shit. it's just it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad and stupid. And they should
think
feel
that is
bad for doing
trolling.
it, but they
Oh,
don't
he's
because people are
100%
going to use
trolling.
it.
Because he can't be talking about brokies in one sense and then care about people that are tight for cash in the next. Like, you can't
Tight-
do that. That doesn't.
You're so tight for cash, you can't afford a $500 console, but you're going to go ahead and spend the little change that you have to rent a console that you will not own, even if you rent for the next 5 years.
Imagine
Come
this scenario.
on.
Imagine I want to rent a PS5 Pro because I want the best. I want the best thing, right? So I rent a
Obviously.
PS5 Pro. Well, how I don't know how much that is. I'm sure you said it. Things like you said, like $20 or something a month, $25, whatever. I rent that. Now I need to go spend almost triple that on a game,
Yeah,
and that's one game.
yeah,
And that's one game.
yeah.
You got to buy more than one game. I would assume you're only going to play one game forever.
I guess.
I like, dude, this is the scummiest shit I've ever seen in my life. I mean, besides we'll call NZXT the worst one because they were charging like $70 a month and shit like that. But like,
Aren't those the guys that
this is-
charge you to own to rent a PC?
not own, yes, to rent a PC.
Even I know about NZXT. That's how bad that shit is. I guess
But
these
like
guys are
this is the exact same thing. The only difference is that it costs less because it's a console. That's the only difference. It's still just as scummy though.
I understand if somebody's renting to own something and you're
Yes.
willing to
That's
overpay,
different.
which you always are doing it, but then that's no different than getting a car and making payments for it or anything like that.
Mhm.
You see value in it and you wish
That's
to
fine.
continuously pay on it, whether it's actually valuable. I mean, most of the time you roll those cars off the lot, they ain't worth a goddamn, right? After you
Yeah.
roll them out of there, but you keep still paying for it because it's getting you to work, it's getting you to get your job done and everything. And then by the time you're done paying on it, hopefully you took care of the thing well enough for it to be able to continue driving, or maybe you can sell it. But there is literally nothing you get back
Renting a console.
from renting a console. There is nothing that you get back at all from renting a console. And I don't know, this is just this just does nothing for anybody. But please, if you guys could real quick, do us a quick favor and hit that like button. I swear,
Jeez.
since we started the show, we had 5 likes. So y'all please
Come
hit that
on,
like button. That's ridiculous.
Damn.
Y'all are coming through in
Turn
the
that
comment section, but come on.
Turn
come
that
on.
up.
Ty is testing my patience today.
What do you say?
He's testing my patience. You jokers champion broke pass, but you don't champion renting consoles. The hypocrisy. y'all
Yes,
sound like
because I'm not renting a console in Game Pass, and I can still buy the game. If you're
And do you
comparing
know how
those two
many
things,
games-
you're being wildly disingenuous. If you're comparing,
Come
those two
on,
things.
bro.
You
Come
Yeah,
on.
you
man.
gotta be trolling. You gotta be trolling.
Nah, he's
Because
trolling.
keep this in mind, Ty. You rent the console, and then you want to play Call of Duty. What do you have to do then? You have to get PlayStation Plus. So then now you're renting 2 things. And then on top of that, you got to make sure that you have everything else that's all set up, sure. Right? But you still have to get the games. You still have to buy
Yeah,
the
you gotta-
games. And then when you do buy the games, I would argue if Xbox did this, which they probably do, but if Xbox did this, at least they have a subscription service that gives you the games day one.
Yeah, I mean they have the all access thing, but it's like again rent.
But
to
I
own.
mean, regardless, this is slimy. But what
Yes.
I'm saying, is, regardless, whether this is Xbox doing this or PlayStation doing this, you have to you rent the console, then you rent the subscription service, and then you purchase or rent the games that are within that same subscription service. Let's say that you're just fine with the subscription service and renting the console. Let's say that's it right then and there, right? You're paying what? Let's say you got a 36-month contract. You're paying $10 a month for that. You're paying at least like $20 a month, roughly, for both of those things that you don't get any ownership over whatsoever. Right?
Yeah.
There was
It's
an
dumb.
article that I thought was kind of funny that said a PlayStation, a PS5 fan was really so excited and happy with the rental service, this service, supposedly, right? That when he returned the console, because he bought himself a PS5 eventually, he forgot to change over the saves.
Oh, that sucks.
Yikes.
So you restarted.
So then there's that on top of it. You don't even have the cloud saves then on top of it, unless you continue to play for the service. It's just, to me, this is all a mess a little bit. I think that Ty is being ridiculous by calling this, by saying, oh, the hypocrisy
Broke
on it, when in Game Pass, it gives you a deal to be able to purchase a game for cheaper. Gives you an opportunity to own it.
Also, Ham.
That's crazy. I don't know.
This is classic moving the goalpost.
Bro, he's got to be trolling.
PlayStation has a service. Xbox has an identical and superior service. Instead of comparing these two, I'm gonna throw this one away and compare it to Game Pass. Come on, bro. Come on. Dairizi, yes. Try to relax your shoulders.
Oh yeah.
Your shoulders.
Relax.
Okay, this is the last one from Ty. This is the last one. PlayStation version sucks. Xbox Access Pass is far superior, sure. But if the kid says Xbox sucks and they have no games, then you got to do what you got to do for the kids. I'ma say it like Kobe and Michael. Fuck them kids.
Bro, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Bro?
You go ahead and rent that PS5 and bring that home and have your kids say, "Where the fuck are the games?"
Bro.
Because you got to buy them now.
No, let's be
You
honest.
got to buy them now.
Let's be honest. All your kid cares about is Fortnite anyway.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And Call of Duty. You only have to buy Call of Duty and FIFA, really, if we're being honest. If we're being honest.
You might as well just get your kid that PS4 so they can play the same games that they would be playing anyway.
On the PS5, yeah.
Yeah. Hit up Facebook Marketplace. Do something. Don't do this. Don't get scared. Every month.
Yeah, F them kids. That's the way it goes, bro. Like,
bro,
I don't know. I don't know anybody. Like, as much as Ty is being like, oh man, but you gotta do what's right. Like, I don't know anybody that would think that this ideal or plan is right. And I'm talking about including those that are like casual or those that like travel a lot and still enjoy gaming. I don't know a soul that'd be okay with renting. I know some people that would be cool with doing the all access. Like Sir X Man, I'm pretty sure that's how he bought his Series X, was through the all access program. Which, like I said, that's fine. You own it now. I think he said he's done paying on it. He owns it now. But renting, like, man. I don't know anything that I'd be okay to rent that I can't just use and just like content wise. Right? Like that's the only way. Like renting a book, renting actual content. I can see myself doing that, but like I could never go somewhere and say, let me rent that TV for a week.
I don't want to rent books. I can't rent books.
You have to buy the books though.
I hate renting books.
Well, at this point, it's like, what's the point of renting books? Because
Luke hates the library. Confirmed.
But like my daughter, she goes to the library.
About?
My daughter goes. She goes to the library. I'm not going to tell her.
What are we doing? I hate the library. Yeah, I buy them, Cozy. I buy them.
Why buy them? The library is free, and my taxes pay for it anyway. I've paid for
and
those
they're usually local, right? I don't have to put this library, or I'm not even worried about anybody taking this book off of my stoop. Nobody's stealing books. Sorry. Nobody's stealing books.
That's true. That is
Actually,
true. That
having
is
worked
true,
at the
Hannah.
library, you'd be surprised.
Libraries,
no.
stealing from the library is different than taking no one's going on somebody's porch and
Yes.
stealing and knowingly stealing a book.
Cozy.
Unless they personally know that motherfucker and they've been dying to have that book.
I think
Like,
I still
no.
have it bookmarked. There were riots in South Africa last year.
Yeah.
They went to a shopping center and ransacked a whole bunch of stores. Do you know which store was completely untouched?
The bookstore.
The bookstore. So I'm with Ham on this one. Ain't nobody stealing your books. You can buy the entire special edition Harry Potter collection, right? And display it prominently in your living room. If someone comes to jack you, your special edition $10,000 worth books will still be there. Ain't nobody touching your books.
I had a friend who got robbed, and they stole his PS4, all of his PS4 games, and he was like, "They didn't touch the Genesis." he was like, "They didn't touch the Genesis. That's all I care about."
That's true. You can't get another Genesis.
He was so relieved because he has a ton of games that he's collected for. He has a very huge Genesis collection. He was like super
Exactly.
relieved. He was like,
And
they
that's
didn't
worth
know.
actual
They
money.
didn't know. They did not
That's
know.
actually, yeah, that's worth actual money. Oh my goodness. Anyways,
I robbed
as
they have a Genesis. Bet I'm taking the Genesis and all the games.
obviously, right? But we are aficionados. We're not troglodytes. Anyways, that's
the
pretty
only
much
people
it.
stealing books are the aficionados. They ain't no fucking
Honestly, that's the thing,
casual
though.
people.
That's the thing is, honestly, so I think about it like the same way I think about my bike. I have a very nice bike, but the thing is, you only know my bike is nice if you're a bike enthusiast. If you're casual,
Yeah,
you've heard of some
it's
of the
just
big
another
brands,
bike.
but you don't know what my bike is. I remember one
Yeah.
day I had to second guess where I was like locking my bike up when I was like hanging out downtown because the guy was like, "Oh man, that's a really nice bike. I love that brand," and I was like, "Gosh."
That's an actual biker right there. Sapo. Oh, I can't believe it. Sapo says I stole so many books I owed the library. $600.
Damn.
My library,
Yo,
my library caps out at like $10 per item.
that's
Those are
crazy.
demon.
And they have forgiveness days. But I mean, here's the
Sapo.
thing. Some of those library books, like they usually don't even let you check them out, but only for reference. I mean, you could walk out with them if you want, but there are some library books that they have that are like,
Sapo's the real villain. Forget Thanos. Sapo is the real villain.
I mean,
Oh my god, $600.
hey, it's all of our tax money. It's okay to take them occasionally.
Oh god, let's not get into that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Cozy, please tell everyone where they can find you, plug your channel and what you're up to.
You can find me where you find Cozy Belugas. I'm hoping I will have time as soon as spring break comes. For life. I've had time for gaming, but not much else, and I've just forced that time. But yeah, I've been doing things, big things.
All right. All right. Yes, there is. Sapo was collecting Infinity Stones, all of them, bro, all of them. She had to. Sapo had to do all the research.
You wanna know?
Matt, please plug your channel. Tell people they can find you, what you're up to, etc., etc.
Well, yeah, you can find me on YouTube. Matt Likes Games. Videos every week. Podcasts every week. Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern is the L3R3 podcast. Myself, Hard Days Mike, and it's me, Twan. And Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern is the two-player podcast with myself and Ham Solo on Matt Likes Games channel. That is where you can find me.
Good stuff. Mr. Ham Solo, plug your stuff. Tell people where to find you, what you're up to, etc., etc.
Yeah, you can find
Besides
me here.
TSW.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, you can find me on Match Channel on Wednesdays, but yeah, hopefully I get rid of this sinus infection and I can feel better come Monday.
Get a sinusectomy.
Yeah.
And a sectomy.
Okay. Yeah, that's about all I got, man. I'm fine. I'm tired and I just don't feel very good right now.
I'm sorry.
All right.
You cut yourself off.
All right. Last point for this week. The Visions of Mana co-director launched his own studio this past week, and I just wanted to highlight to everyone once more, because I've said this a million times, but I'll say this 1,000,001 times, and I'll say this again as soon as I get another chance. We will be fine. The gaming industry will be fine if the AAA publishers collapse. This is not a problem. This guy, right? Kenji Ozawa, he built it. He built his new studio specifically to make sure that developers don't take the fall for management mistakes. Where does management usually come in? AAA, AA, 1A, it's usually just a team of passionate people trying to make something awesome. That's what usually happens with AA and indie games. So you know what? Once more, it's been proven once more exactly what I've always said. When these AAAs fall apart, every time they close down a studio, do not shed a single tear. My brothers and sisters in gaming. You know why? Because the people with talent, the people that make the machine work, they'll be fine and they'll be producing another banger. Do you know who's really screwed? Those execs that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you on Monday for Everything Plus Gaming. Goodbye.
We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard. They said we said. They said we said. They said we said.